Hello, future biologists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of Class 9 biology. Today, we are diving into the economic importance of bacteria and fungi, with a special focus on how these tiny organisms interact with our musculoskeletal system. We'll explore this fascinating topic across 4 levels of depth: easy, medium, hard, and hardest. Get ready to uncover some surprising connections. Let's start with the basics. Ever wondered how something so small can affect something as strong as your bones and muscles? Let's find out easily. Our musculoskeletal system is like the body's framework, providing structure, support, and enabling all our movements. Think of your bones as the sturdy beams and your muscles as the powerful engines that pull them. Ligaments connect bones to bones, while tendons connect muscles to bones, ensuring everything works together smoothly. It's a marvel of biological engineering. Now, while many bacteria and fungi are harmless or even helpful, some can be quite mischievous. They can sneak into our bones, muscles, or joints and cause infections. For example, bacterial infections can lead to osteomyelitis, which is a bone infection, or septic arthritis, an infection within a joint. Fungi can also cause muscle infections, though less commonly. These infections can make you feel a lot of pain, cause swelling, and make it hard to move. And guess what? Treating these infections requires money for doctor visits, medicines, and sometimes even a hospital stay. This is where their economic importance comes in, as these treatments contribute to healthcare costs and can impact a family's budget or even a country's economy if many people get sick. Time to test your understanding. Here are 3 questions to recap what we've learned. Question 1. What are the main components of the musculoskeletal system? Question 2. Name 2 types of infections that bacteria can cause in the musculoskeletal system. And question 3. How do musculoskeletal infections have an economic impact? Ready to dig a little deeper? Let's explore more about these microbial invaders and their economic footprint. Bacteria are often the main culprits behind musculoskeletal infections. A common one is Staphylococcus aureus which can enter your body through a cut or wound, or even travel through your bloodstream to infect a bone or joint. This can lead to severe conditions like osteomyelitis or septic arthritis. Another important bacterium, Mycobacterium tuberculosis known for causing lung disease, can also affect bones, particularly the spine, leading to a condition called Pott's disease. Fungal infections are less frequent but can be quite serious, especially in people with weakened immune systems. Fungi like Candida or Aspergillus can cause deep-seated infections in bones or muscles, which are often challenging to diagnose and treat effectively. When these microbes infect our musculoskeletal system, they don't just sit there. They multiply rapidly, causing inflammation and damaging tissues. In bones, this can weaken their structure, potentially leading to fractures. In joints, the delicate cartilage can be eroded, resulting in permanent damage and restricted movement. Muscle infections cause pain, weakness, and tissue death. The economic burden of treating these conditions is substantial. It starts with costly diagnostic tests like X-rays and MRI scans to pinpoint the problem. Then, there's the expense of long courses of antibiotics or antifungals, which can be very pricey, especially for drug-resistant strains. Severe cases often require hospitalization and even surgery to remove infected tissue or repair damaged bones, adding significantly to the overall cost. Finally, patients often need physical therapy to recover, which is another long-term expense. The economic impact extends beyond direct medical costs. When individuals suffer from severe musculoskeletal infections, they might be unable to work or attend school for extended periods. This results in a loss of income for families and reduced productivity for the economy as a whole. For instance, a prolonged bone infection could mean months of recovery, impacting a person's livelihood and contributing to the national healthcare expenditure. Preventing these infections through good hygiene and, where available, vaccination is therefore not just good for health but also economically beneficial. Alright, let's consolidate your knowledge with these 5 questions. Question 1. Name 2 specific bacteria that cause musculoskeletal infections. Question 2. How do fungal infections differ from bacterial ones in terms of prevalence and treatment? Question 3. Describe how microbial infections can physically damage bones and joints. Question 4. List 3 direct economic costs associated with treating musculoskeletal infections. And question 5. How does a patient's inability to work due to infection contribute to economic burden? Ready for a deeper dive? Let's uncover the intricate mechanisms and broader implications. When bacteria or fungi invade the musculoskeletal system, they can do so through various pathways: a direct wound, spreading from an adjacent infection, or traveling through the bloodstream. Once inside, they can form what are called biofilms. Imagine a protective slime layer where microbes hide, making them incredibly resistant to antibiotics and our body's immune system. These biofilms are particularly problematic on artificial implants like joint replacements. Diagnosing these infections is tricky because symptoms can be vague. Often, doctors need to perform invasive procedures like bone biopsies to identify the specific germ. Treating these deep-seated infections is further complicated by the poor blood supply to bones and joints, which limits how well antibiotics can reach the infection site. Plus, the rise of drug-resistant microbes, like MRSA, means doctors often have to use more potent, expensive, and sometimes toxic drugs, making treatment even more challenging and costly. The pharmaceutical industry plays a critical economic role in this fight. They invest billions in research and development to discover and create new antimicrobial drugs. However, this R&D is incredibly expensive, involving years of lab work, clinical trials, and regulatory approvals. These high costs are reflected in the price of new medications. Yet, the economic incentive to develop new antibiotics is actually decreasing. Why? Because antibiotics are typically used for short periods, and microbes quickly develop resistance, meaning a new drug's market life might be short. This creates a significant public health challenge as we face a dwindling arsenal against resistant infections. For severe musculoskeletal infections, surgery is often essential. This means significant costs for hospital stays, specialized medical teams, and potentially expensive implants or bone grafts. Post-operative care and potential complications further escalate the economic expenditure for individuals and healthcare systems. Beyond the direct medical expenses, musculoskeletal infections impose a heavy societal and economic burden. They can lead to chronic pain, long-term disability, and a significant reduction in a person's quality of life and independence. This translates into substantial economic losses, including lost wages from inability to work, increased healthcare expenditures for ongoing care, and a greater reliance on social support systems. For national economies, this means reduced workforce participation and increased disability benefits, impacting overall productivity and economic growth. Understanding these complex interconnections is crucial for developing effective prevention and treatment strategies. Let's challenge your analytical skills with these 7 questions. Question 1. Explain how biofilms contribute to the difficulty in treating musculoskeletal infections. Question 2. Besides direct inoculation, describe 2 other ways microbes can enter the musculoskeletal system. Question 3. Why is the blood supply to bones and joints a challenge for antimicrobial treatment? Question 4. Discuss the economic dilemma faced by the pharmaceutical industry regarding antibiotic development. Question 5. List 3 types of surgical interventions common for severe musculoskeletal infections. Question 6. What are two direct economic costs associated with these surgeries? And question 7. Beyond medical costs, how do musculoskeletal infections create a societal burden? Prepare to delve into the cutting edge. We are now exploring the most advanced concepts and competitive insights. The global crisis of antimicrobial resistance, or AMR, poses an immense economic threat, especially concerning musculoskeletal infections. Resistant strains, like MRSA causing osteomyelitis or drug-resistant *Candida auris in systemic fungal infections, demand prolonged hospital stays, require the use of expensive, last-resort drugs, and frequently lead to treatment failure, severe disability, or even amputation. The World Bank estimates that AMR could slash global GDP by 1.1% to 3.8% by 2050, with chronic and complex musculoskeletal infections being a major contributor to this staggering figure. This highlights the urgent need for innovative solutions and substantial economic investment in research and public health initiatives to mitigate this threat. Advanced diagnostic techniques are pivotal in this fight. Molecular methods like PCR for rapid pathogen identification, next-generation sequencing for detailed genetic analysis of resistant strains, and advanced imaging modalities such as PET-CT scans, which detect metabolic activity in infected tissues, offer unparalleled precision. While these technologies represent a significant upfront investment, their economic value lies in reducing diagnostic delays, preventing unnecessary broad-spectrum treatments, and guiding highly targeted therapies. This ultimately leads to improved patient outcomes, shorter hospital stays, and substantial reductions in long-term healthcare costs. The development and deployment of these sophisticated tools constitute a robust and growing economic sector within medical technology. Beyond the detrimental effects, certain microbes and their products hold significant economic importance in musculoskeletal medicine. Take botulinum toxin, or Botox, derived from Clostridium botulinum star. This bacterial neurotoxin is a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical product, economically vital for treating severe muscle spasticity in conditions like cerebral palsy or post-stroke recovery, preventing painful contractures, and improving patient mobility and quality of life. Similarly, bacterial collagenases, enzymes from bacteria like Clostridium histolyticum are used for debridement of chronic wounds, including those involving muscles and bones. This enzymatic approach facilitates healing and can prevent amputations, offering a cost-effective alternative to surgical debridement in specific scenarios. Even certain fungal enzymes, like proteases, are being explored in tissue engineering and regenerative medicine for breaking down scar tissue or preparing biological scaffolds for bone and cartilage repair, though their direct economic impact on musculoskeletal treatment is still emerging but holds future promise. The economic importance also extends to the investment landscape for emerging therapies. Pharmaceutical and biotech companies are pouring resources into developing novel strategies like phage therapy, which uses viruses to specifically target bacteria, antimicrobial peptides, and advanced drug delivery systems for localized treatment. This investment is driven by the urgent need for solutions against AMR, creating new high-risk, high-reward markets and significant economic opportunities. Furthermore, preventive strategies hold immense economic value. Vaccinations against common bacterial causes of musculoskeletal infections, alongside stringent infection control protocols in hospitals, are highly cost-effective measures. Investing in public health education and hygiene programs significantly reduces infection incidence, thereby lowering treatment costs and economic losses. This holistic approach underscores the multifaceted economic impact of bacteria and fungi on our musculoskeletal health. Let's test your expertise with the first 5 challenging questions. Question 1. Quantify the potential global GDP reduction by 2050 due to AMR, as estimated by the World Bank. Question 2. How do advanced diagnostic techniques, like next-generation sequencing, provide economic value despite their high initial cost? Question 3. Name the bacterial neurotoxin derived from Clostridium botulinum and its primary economic application in musculoskeletal medicine. Question 4. Explain how bacterial collagenases contribute to wound care and their economic benefit. And question 5. What is phage therapy and why is there significant economic investment in its development? Now, for the final 5 questions to truly challenge your understanding. Question 6. Besides muscle spasticity, what other potential applications of microbial enzymes are being explored in tissue engineering? Question 7. Identify 2 types of emerging therapies beyond traditional antibiotics, receiving significant economic investment. Question 8. How do preventive strategies like vaccination and infection control contribute to economic savings in the context of musculoskeletal health? Question 9. Discuss the concept of economic equity in relation to musculoskeletal infections in low and middle-income countries. And question 10. Analyze how the high-risk, high-reward profile influences pharmaceutical investment in novel antimicrobial development. That brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of the economic importance of bacteria and fungi on the musculoskeletal system. We've journeyed from basic concepts to advanced insights, covering everything from disease burden to biotechnological applications. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and to continue your learning adventure. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep growing your knowledge.